Congratulations on this. It is extremely fascinating. Where did the ideas for this come from, first of all?
The idea came from Vitek and I, essentially enjoying what we were doing so much, in our lives, in our climbing lives, but not as much in our professional lives, and really wanted to figure out how to do exactly what we love to do, which was climbing mountains and adventuring, but also wanted to be making, positive impact in the world. And we both had a similar upbringings where we got in a lot of trouble. Me, in the United States, and being involved in the criminal justice system, had a impact on me. The kind of, the blatant inequity in the criminal justice system had an impact on me, and I had that in my mind for a long time, that I wanted to be involved in some form of trying to balance the scales a little bit in that world. And this was what made sense to me.
And for Anthony, why did you decide, or how did you decide to allow yourself to be so vulnerable and be the subject of this documentary?
Well, I think it just kind of happened. It's not something I did intentionally. I signed up for the trip. I was at my job. My supervisor at the time told me to sign up for this trip. He thought it would be a good experience because, he knew a bit of my background, that I haven't been anywhere. Signed up for it, went on the trip, and then everything just kind of unfolded organically.
Yeah, we see your growth throughout the entire film, and it's an amazing vulnerability that you show, and it shows a lot of strength from you. Did you ever feel like you would be able to do such a transformation throughout the film or the documentary?
Well, yeah, I knew that, like, I always knew my potential for growth. I've been doing it like my whole life, just before, rewilding, and even before my job at the time. But I just didn't expect the emotional component, that particular growth. I just knew the growth as far as like getting out of where I lived and my space, and like, having the courage to do that. But all the other stuff I didn't really expect at all. It just really started unfolding once we started digging into, like, the real, my real issue, or my real obstacles, I'll say, of why I couldn't perform the physical feats. It was a lot of mental and emotional stuff. And, once I was able to do the physical feats, then the emotional component just started pouring in.
Jesse, we see a lot of what Anthony has gone through the documentary, but for you, how has this experience changed you and the way you view, I guess, both the criminal justice system and what you do with rewilding?
Well, I think I went in there with one idea, and that idea, really evolved and changed through the course of Anthony's journey and through the course of the adventures that we've led since then. I think, I had a thought that, like, we're all the same, and that, like, I know that we all want, similar things. We all want to, feel loved, have community, have space where we can actually, like, share our hearts. And, those things I think are universally, for the most part, true. But I think that, there's also ways that we're different, and I think that, really, even though I got in trouble with the criminal justice system, I also have so many differences in where I come from and what my life experience had been that really shape how I, view the world and how I experience the world. And, and that became really, really clear that, like, Anthony's set of life experiences, have affect how he experiences the world through his own lens. And, so getting to, like, kind of see that, but also, see that and understand it and respect it, help me have a, I think to do this kind of work, to work with, communities that are getting so, such a short end of the stick, who are just being, screwed over in so many ways. I think really having a clear understanding of, like, their experience, and you don't know that until you spend time with somebody and until you care about somebody. You can read it in the newspaper, but my bond, my friendship, with Anthony, really helped me to, feel, more of what he's feeling, and be able to see it from a more compassionate place.
Definitely. And why did you guys choose to bring this documentary to Dances with Films?
Well, it's a solid film festival. We wanted to, premiere at a big festival, and this is a big festival. We want, this film to get out into the world. We want to have an impact. So it seemed like a really perfect place for us. They accepted us, so that was a good thing, and timing just kind of worked out. We just finished the film. I mean, I watched the film 7 times in 5-day period 2 weeks ago, so we're literally, we're still, it's done now, but so this kind of lined up really well with our schedule as well. Yeah.
And you guys are going to be showing at the biggest theater in Hollywood, the TCL Chinese Theater. How do you guys feel about that?
Excited. Excited. Yeah, I mean, it's a great venue. It's a great festival. The organizers are really amazing. Like, I've been communicating with them so much, and I went to the first event last night or 2 nights ago, and I was like, Jesus, if everybody else is communicating with these guys as much as I am and talking directly to the directors, I don't know how they're handling all those calls and emails and questions. So, I'm super happy that we are, the Chinese theater, amazing, wow. Like, we've been marketing it, and that goes a long way. Hey, we're premiering at the Chinese theater. People respond really well to that. So, I'm just hoping that we have a sold out crowd, and we start this next phase of our journey with a bang.
Anthony, how do you feel walking down these red carpets and presenting yourself in such a impactful way? What do you hope people are going to be taking away after watching this?
Man, well, how I feel about it, I'm very excited. I've been extremely focused, just to present my best self. I haven't watched the film recently as Jesse did. I kind of don't want to, because I kind of seen it already like a few times, so I don't want to I don't want to say spoil it, because you can't spoil it, or get tired of it. But I like to watch it refreshed all the time, a fresh feeling. So I haven't watched it, and it's like in my head already. So, but yeah, and what I would like people to take from it, I guess the best way that I can answer that, I'm just excited to see people's response. Like, I don't want to say what I want people to take from it. I want to see what people's response is, what they took from it. I mean, of course, it's like the natural thing or the obvious things where, for people to see, look into themselves and be able to be vulnerable in their own space and with their family and things like that, and be able to share and have relationships, and hopefully be able to do that doing activities too, because I think that's like a huge component where it's like, sometimes it's hard to like talk one-on-one, and usually when you're doing an activity, like when the brothers were out playing basketball, or over lunch or video games, what I'm saying, like having some sort of icebreaker to open up that door, I think that's a microcosm of what the film is doing. So having an activity, and hopefully it is climbing, doing an outdoor experience, because that particular experience is different from all the others I just mentioned, like being outdoors and in nature and breathing healthy air and things like that, and clearing your mind will definitely open up different ideas and conversations. But yeah, I just really want to see what people say to me as what they took from it, versus me saying the obvious.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to both. This is an incredible documentary. Can't wait to see it on the big screen. And enjoy Dances with Films, enjoy your success, and continue moving forward, man.
Man, thank you a lot. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time and sharing the space, man.